We'll get free guidance on how to fix any MacBook board problem from Paul any time of the day.
You are not live, are you? No.
No. You can beat them into telling them HAKKO will teach you how to do it.
Hey everybody, how's it going? So today we're going to get to work on a MacBook board repair. The setup is not perfect yet, but we are making some progress. We got some acoustic panels over here. We're going to be getting more in soon. And today we're going to get started with a MacBook that's not turning on here for Robert. Let's open this thing up and see what's going on with it. So I'm going to open up the bottom of the machine and I'll be able to show you what's going on my overhead camera. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Now they said this is not turning on, so I'm kind of curious to see what's going on there. I'm going to turn on my power supply so that you can see how much power it's taking. My power supply software just froze. It just straight up Paul Daniels'd me. There we go. So let's see how much this is taking. So we are grabbing 500 milliamps, which is actually exactly what I would expect for this to turn on. So this probably is turning on and working right now. Alright, I think this is turning on, we're just not getting a screen. Let's just double check and see if that's the case. Alright, so I'm getting 0 volts on screen, but it's also taking 100 milliamps, which tends to mean that it doesn't have a brain. That's no good. I hit the power button again, and I'm still stuck on 100 milliamps. Let's try that one more time. 24 milliamps, PM sleep S4L missing. 500 milliamps turning on properly. 300 milliamps, that's a number I've never seen before. And throughout the process, nothing on the screen, even though the fan is spinning. So we got fan spinning, not activating the screen, but the fan stops spinning soon after it starts spinning. So there's a brain dead problem going on here, because 340 milliamps and fan spinning on and off like that, there's a brain dead issue here. And I'm kind of wondering if you can see why I'm losing interest in working on it right now. Actually, it's happening very quickly. In real time, I'm losing all interest in working on this particular machine. So if you take a look, before I even get the microscope going, do you see anything funky over there? This over here. So someone ripped stuff off the top of this board. That's a layer that's just ripped off the top of the board, and that's not good, because what that means is that... Sorry, everybody, you're going to need some Dramamine for this stream until I get this whole thing situated. I don't really know what I'm going to do about this top mount. This is way too shaky. Like, do I just hang it from the ceiling or something? And if I do, I got to find a mount that actually is long enough so that if I hang it from the ceiling, it'll make its way to the desk. Okay, so first things first here. Let's take the board out and see what it looks like on the other side. I think that this is going to be brain dead because the CPU, some traces to the CPU may have gotten shredded. Something may be going through that fan grommet over there. You don't have to take the SSD out, however corrosion can get in those probe points under the SSD, which is why I take interest in taking a look at it. We're going to take a look under this board in the microscope and see if we see anything that's strange. Thank you. JP, thank you very much. French macaroons. Does anybody want a French macaroon? Alright, board repair's done for the day. You guys can all leave now. Thank you, JP. Thank you! That's the idea, Catherine. We're here to ruin your diet on this channel. Alright. Don't see anything funky just yet. Aha! Okay, that's a standard U1950 area, but this typically keeps it from turning on. We got it. Maybe this could have it turning on and then turning itself off afterwards. Ooh. Ooh. Do you see what I see? Dun 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 dun. And yes, folks, every time that you have a JTAG connector problem on a MacBook, it is Christmas. This is a MacBook repair technician's definition of Christmas time. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. If you hang Christmas trees in the front of your store, every repair will be Christmas. Just like this one. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. McCarroll, I haven't. I've gotten that suggestion from a lot of people, the HDMI to Ethernet thing. The problem is I'd have to have Cat 6 jacks everywhere. Going to everything, which I don't really have yet. We're not really into that stage of the project. I mean, we could have. It's just, it would have been at the expense of everything else. Okay. Next up. Yeah, the thing is, I don't have Cat 6 jacks or Ethernet RJ45 jacks on the wall for everybody to just plug their stuff into. Like, that would have required running wire all through the wall and everything, and we never really got to that. Half of the people here are still on Wi-Fi, which sucks. It's just, you know, at the moment stuff's available. I can either have a tech start fixing stuff or run RJ45 on the wall. And I haven't gotten around to that. There's literally a Cat 6 cable. There's the same Cat 6 cable from 2.5 weeks ago when I first moved in here that was running from the router to the... it was running from the router to my room so I could start streaming that one night. Like, that cable is still on the floor. Obviously, I gotta fix that. That can't stay like that. But Paul's heading on a very well-needed vacation after a ridiculous amount of overtime next week. we have weeks and weeks of shit to catch up on. So like there are some tickets where we're behind by over 10 days, which is just disgusting. So yeah, like stuff like Cat 5 and Cat 6, I mean RJ45 connectors everywhere, that's just not. Yeah, like that thing where you don't need Cat 6, you could use Cat 5, like those arguments are so irrelevant to me right now. I don't care about debating the two. The cost is almost the same. Like, we just gotta fix stuff at this point. I got through the Eugening, but what I did get is I actually got these things. I got these plates that have a Cat 6 and an HDMI port on it, and it would be really nice when we have time to actually run them to a lot of the desks. So you have a Cat 6 thingy, I mean an RJ45 thingy, and then an HDMI thingy, a female port by each desk. That's something I'd like to do, but it's just, again, it's like, when is it? Who's gonna do it? When's it gonna happen? And is the most important question, is that more important than getting people their stuff back? Like, so all the stuff that I've been doing here, I've been doing in phases. You know, I do a little bit of work, a little bit of moving, then people call, start, you know, I'm gonna kill you if you don't get me my computer back. Then we go back to fixing, then we fix stuff, get caught up, do a little bit more moving. People start calling, we're gonna kill you if you don't get us our stuff back. And then like it's kind of like a seesaw like that. Because the people who are doing all the setup and the hanging the cameras and the, you know, configuring the security system and all that shit are the people who are actually the techs that fix stuff. Indeed. What do you think of an idea? Walson said people should have ideas, ideas shouldn't have people. I'd enjoy it. I've been doing my best over the past, like, I think that was actually one of my New Year's resolutions. Check myself and become less ideologically possessed. Like, have my opinions, but just make sure that my opinions don't have me. I've been checking myself really hard on that lately. I probably should have done it a long time ago, but I like to try to not be what's wrong with the world. There's a lot wrong with the world, but I don't want to contribute to it. It's easy enough to contribute to it without even noticing you're doing it. Now you see what we're going to do here, right? So that's going to get run right over here. I wouldn't mix power and Ethernet, someone said. Yeah, it's definitely probably something we shouldn't do. I hear power and Ethernet don't mix well. Okay, that's a bit of a fluxy mess. Luke, I've been doing it for over 10 years and I don't even know when I'm doing it right, so don't feel bad. How is that Ulsa's power grid arrow even working? I don't know, man. Running on fumes. See how I made a little hook there? Alright, let's get a donor board. Get ourselves a donor, A1502. grab that chip off of. Robust, robust, robust. When will the next right repair hearing be? I believe it's in Colorado. And on the 5th. This is going to be... That's not the best timing because I'm barely recovered from... Like, just... This... I was hoping the store would be 100%... The new place would be 100%, like not 80 or 70 or 90% before I left. But such is life. I'll be there. I really got to fix the HDMI port in my damn Sony before then, actually. It kind of works, but kind of is not really what I'm looking for when trying to broadcast something. Alright. I didn't get any notification either. You have any plans to run repair classes when you get settled? Yep, I do. But I gotta find some more people first. Channel can only have 3 notifications per 24 hours. Interesting. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on. There we go. Okay. That's beautiful. Let's see if we get a picture. Keep in mind, I'm not holding the board by the heatsink. I'm using my fingers, so I should be... The heatsink is really just there to kind of guide it, but I'm holding it under with my index finger and my thumb. You don't want to hold this board directly by the heatsink. That's not nice. Granted, the MacBook hasn't really earned me being nice to it. You know, it's a privilege, not a right. Well, let's see if this little thing boots. All I'm really interested right now is having my screen plugged in and my DC in board so we can see if we get the Apple logo. Also, I might as well do this to get rid of some crotch cam. That's some crotch cam right there. Alright, let's see the amperage that it's taking. Okay, we got an Apple logo, and it's booting. So let's take a look at what that chip that was nasty was for, and also what the bottom right corner of the JTAG connector is for, and see how that will contribute to it turning on but not giving us an image. Let's open up a schematic and a board view for an 820-3476, which is for an A1502 MacBook Pro. Over here we have Paul Daniels' software. So, first issue was with U1950, a common spot for corrosion on the A1466 and A1502 MacBook Pro. If you take a look over here, this is for PCH Power OK generation. So this is 2 logic gates in one. So if we just zoom in on the PDF, because I don't need the board view right now. If you take a look at just the PDF, all right, so PCH Power OK. This is 2 logic gates. If you have the inputs, you get the output. And to power the logic gate, you have PP3V42_G3 hot, a 3.42 volt power rail. Now, on the first set of the first part of the logic gate, if all says power good and CPU VR power good are present, you get PMSOP good. And then over here, if PMSOP good is present, along with SMC delayed power good, which is going to come from the SMC, you get sys power OK. This S is also going to become PMPCH power OK. Now, if we look that up, that's in the system power management section of the PCH. Now, what happens here is when you have all the inputs on the left, you'll get the outputs on the right. These need to show up for you to have this stuff over here. And what do you see over here? PM sleep S5L, PM sleep S4L, PM sleep S3L. These are all the signals that we're often hunting in order to get rails like PP3V3S5, PP5ES4, PP5ES3, PP5ESO, PP3V3S3, PP3V3SO. All the rails that we need in order for the computer to work are turned on by PM sleep S5L, S4L, and S3L. And those are not going to be present if we don't have the signals on the left. So what most likely happened, the reason this was able to turn on, is because those signals were present for a very short period of time. But as you could see, it was literally hanging on by a thread. When I removed that chip, there was a chunk of dirty, rotted away crap under there. And that was what was conducting electricity intermittently to allow that to work. That's why you saw it go to 500 milliamps, 300, 100 milliamps, 24, 100 milliamps, 300 milliamps, 500, 24. It was doing that because it was barely able to stay on. This is why having a power supply is so useful, and when using the power supply as a MagSafe. Because when I use the power supply as my MagSafe, I'm able to see how much power the board is drawing, and it does tell me something about what it's doing. So that tells me it must be something intermittent somewhere, and that's what it was. It was my U1950 area. And if you're interested, if you want to know where you can get a U1950 chip, let me not do you a disservice and keep store.rossmangroup.com a secret. So if you want to find this chip, you can go to store.rossmangroup.com. That's now shipping again at normal speeds because we're done moving, mostly done moving. Store.rossmangroup.com and type in the top U1950. And wow, it shows up just like that. And it tells you the board it's compatible with, like 820-3476, 820-3536, 820-00164, 65, 84-3435, and 820-3437. It tells you exactly what it's compatible with. And it even gives you a picture that you can see. Best part, when you buy a chip from store.rossmangroup.com, you got that warm and fuzzy feeling that it's going towards getting nice food for Oreo, Mr. Clinton, a BlackBerry, a cookie for Erica, and tissues for my employees to wipe their tears. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. See you in the next video.